So we had our breakfast at Starvin' Arvin's. Okay, thank you, Mom. Thank you for breakfast.
You're welcome. Yes, thank you.
All right. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, one day after we were supposed to leave. Isn't that how it always goes? Everything's loaded. Went to the dump station at KOA. They wanted to go eat at Sonic. Not eat, they wanted to get drinks at Sonic. Said goodbye to everybody. It was depressing. And now we got a long haul. Probably drive for 10 hours tonight, wherever we end up. As long as it's cool, pull over and start again tomorrow. Britton's driving the pickup. So the biggest thing she's drove so far was 80 some miles pulling this camper on a very straight back road when we were coming here. That's the biggest load she's pulled. That truck is massive. It's a 2500 HD. That thing is huge. I guess we'll get used to it. I mean, I know it's just a big truck and there's a lot of big trucks, but those things they're just huge. Trying to back up. I'm going to put a backup camera on that thing because you can't see anything. More power to people that can drive those trucks and not run into things. But it's very basic. It's got manual mirrors. It's got manual windows. It's got manual door locks. It's manual. But nothing can break because it's all manual. So it should be a good, reliable vehicle. I use it for that. I've never been a person to do off-road. There it is. That's now my truck. That was my daddy's truck. It's been sitting for several years because he couldn't really drive. That metal piece came off just while we were here, but all that's got to go. It's all fallen off. It looks better from this side, don't it? Without that big piece of metal missing. It's all right, Samson. Well, we'll get it all fixed up. I don't even know where we stopped. It's a Walmart. Well, we're not making such good time, but I think we're in Nebraska finally. Let me see. Surprisingly, that truck, I think my mom was putting it on fuel, but at 65 miles an hour, that truck's getting better than 16 miles to the gallon. We'll see how it averages out towards the end here. My mom told me it only got like 10, but I think it was because she was putting in crap Colorado gas. Colorado puts ethanol in everything, and then their affordable gas starts at 85 octane, and then you go anything above that, it really skyrockets in price. Once you get to Nebraska or pretty much anywhere else, they don't even sell 85 octane. It's 87 here in Nebraska. Iowa, 87. That's the lowest octane you can get, and that's also the recommended lowest that you put in the truck. So we're gonna see how it does, but I'm going to switch to, in Colorado, I just went ahead and put the highest octane in. I didn't have a chance to look at the manual. The manual says you don't necessarily need to put in 91, but it says at least 87. So I'm kind of excited about it. I would have never bought a truck. I'm not a fan of trucks, but it was my dad's. So I'm going to embrace it and make it special, and it might be really fun. Maybe I'll go off-roading. I have done that before in vehicles that weren't designed to do it. I had a Suzuki XL7 and we went up to Mount Eldon in Arizona, and it was quite bumpy. I ended up breaking the cover that goes around the transfer case and fluid leaked out. So yeah, I've done off-roading, just not in the right kind of vehicle. So it'll be kind of fun. We'll see. My mom used to do that when I was little. She had the Volkswagen thing, which was a gutless wonder. Top speed was like 60 miles an hour, floored. But she got it, believe it or not, because she wanted to go out into the dunes, take all the doors off, take the roof off, and go up and down and have fun. Believe it or not, my mom wanted to do that, and she never really did. So I think I'm going to fix the truck up, and we're going to do some mild off-roading. Not too intense, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to fix the truck up, take it back to Colorado, and we're going to go out to Escalante Canyon or somewhere and maybe go through some rivers and have some fun, because that's the kind of stuff she used to like to do and wanted to do, but we never really got around to doing it. I was too young and my dad was too busy. That is the plan, and we are still 500 miles from home. It says we're going to get there around 9:03. That means 10:03, and that's not going to happen. We're going to get there around midnight. So we're going to eat lunch and get back on the road and say hi, Coco. Coco, say hi. Say hi.
I got honey mustard.
Well, we got a flat tire. I figured no big deal. I'll just go change it, right? Well, apparently, Rockwood's spare tire solution lacks something to be desired. Apparently, the spare tire falls off. Wonder how long I dragged that behind me. In any case, I have no spare tire and I have a flat. So, great job, Rockwood. Maybe put the spare on the back of the camper like normal trailers. I'm gonna just park here.
Closed.
I'm gonna just park here. Okay. Alright, back home in Iowa. Stressful morning. Got up at 7 a.m. Started trying to call anyone that would have tires, RV places. Nothing was open. Found one place finally open at 8 that recommended another place, and by the time so they must have opened about the same time. I ended up going to Chinson Auto and Tire in Council Bluffs. They saved my butt. Out of all the places I called, they were the only one that actually had one tire in stock. And I was given permission by the trucks, that refrigerated freight company, to use their lot as long as I'd get the trailer out of there first thing in the morning. They said I could just park it there, which was really nice of them. So I stayed in the trailer, and anyway, the next morning I found the tire. So I took the tire off. I used my auto jack to jack it up. That seemed to work just fine. I'm sure that might have been a little pushing it for that auto jack, because I don't think it's rated to hold that kind of weight, but it's all I had. And then you're not supposed to use your stabilizing jacks as jacks, which I didn't. I did put them down though enough, just as a precaution. But if the jack underneath the tire would have failed, probably it would have just fell. But I had no choice. I put chocks under the other wheel and drove about 5 miles to Jensen. They changed the tire, came on, put it back. Then I took the whole camper down. By that time, they had ordered a second one when I called them. And so by the time I got the tire back on that I took down, I was able to haul the whole camper down there and change the other one. Because everything I read, and I talked to a guy at also Discount Tire once I got back here in Iowa, and they said, yeah, it's probably about 12,000 miles is about the life expectancy of a trailer tire, but no one really pays attention. He says it's really hard to tell, but he says generally they're 2 to 3 years is when they say you should replace them. So if you average like 4,000 miles a year, that's 8 to 12,000 miles. And he says that's about what he's seen or expected from averaging off his camper. So that does seem to be what these tires should have lasted for. I figured it up. Even if you remove any miles we had on our vehicle, we were a minimum of 10,000 miles on these tires, very possibly 11 to 12 in that range. Even though, you know, there was tread showing, probably not enough. This one wore a little more on the inside. I could have rotated them. It probably would have given me a little more life. They both seem to be wearing a little on the inside, and I don't know if that's just from damage on the trailer, which I don't think so. I think it just might be the nature of the beast, because again, I got at least 10,000 miles out of these tires. So that wasn't the big deal. As you saw, no spare tire was the big deal. So I ended up paying, after mounting these tires, disposing the old tires, etc., about 90 bucks a tire. So that was fine. No one had any wheels in Council Bluffs. No one had wheels down there for campers. and leach was worthless. Don't even waste your time with RV dealers. Once they've sold the camper, they don't give a crap about you. They don't have the right parts to even sell you a spare. They can't even sell you a spare. You know how you can walk in and buy a spare tire for a normal utility trailer? They don't carry just spares to sell. Well, maybe that's normal, I don't know, but the point is, they're worthless, so don't even waste your time. If you get a flat, just have them take you to a tire person. And if the tire place isn't open, chances are they can get you a tire by the next day within a few hours. So if it's a bigger city. So apparently it was no issue getting these tires. It was just an issue of getting them quick. Fortunately, one tire was available. So let's look at the damage here. So you can see there's no spare tire. So I've called a couple RV repair shops and they haven't gotten back with me. I think I'm going to be figuring out how to replace that cable myself. And even when I do repair it, I'm going to do something in addition to the cable to make sure that thing is secure, because it fell off. Fortunately, apparently it didn't damage anything. I don't know when it fell off. Hopefully it didn't hurt anybody along the way. If it fell off, I can only hope it fell off in the middle of the day so that if somebody's driving down the road, they see it. Because if it fell off in the middle of the night, I'm sure it caused a lot of problems for somebody, and that's not good. So be aware, apparently there's issues with these kind of things, because I've read in forums these things tend to vibrate loose, so you need to be very conscious of that. Don't take for granted that it's supposed to work, because it doesn't. And it's probably just a bad design. It probably really should just be, get a camper with a bumper. If a camper doesn't have a bumper that can carry weight, don't even waste your time with it. Like I say, even the Winnebago 2106s, those things would be a much better choice than this. They have a bumper, and if the dealer was telling me right, they can carry up to 250 pounds on that bumper. That means you could put a generator, you could put a spare tire, and you could put a little jerry can, gas can, whatever they're called, all on the bumper, and you'd be in spec. You know, it just makes sense. Don't deal with anything that's got something hanging under the trailer. It's just subpar. There's no reason you can't buy a trailer with a bumper. I don't think I'm ever gonna have anything nice to say about this trailer, but I'm gonna just keep on pushing through, because if I sell it now, I'm going to take a huge loss, and also I think I got a lot to learn, because I want to make sure if I buy another camper, I know what the heck I'm getting into and what to look for before I spend any more money buying something else. So I'll just get my use out of this and keep plugging along, make the best of it, live and learn, right? Definitely is skill building. So that's the update. We are home safe, and I gave it a little bit of a bath, and now I gotta just figure out how to mount the spare tire. I've got a new spare tire, discount tire in Altoona, said they could order me one. So I ordered me a new rim and a tire for that rim. So it was about 160 bucks for the whole thing. So between all this, I basically have 360 bucks is what this cost me. Fortunately, I didn't have to pay for the tow, which without the tow service would have been about 169 bucks. So it could be worse. Anyway, hope you find this information valuable and what to watch for, and check your tires. And even if you think they look like they're okay, if you're close to that 10,000 mark and you're going to go on a long trip away from home, make sure you got your spare, and you know, maybe just spend the 200 bucks and just change them out. I don't know, it's up to you, but it wasn't fun. It really wasn't fun. It took me a long time to get home because of it. In 2 more weeks, not next weekend, weekend after, we're going up to the Iowa River again like we did last year, and doing some canoeing, and hopefully I should have a spare. Even if I can't mount it, I'll just throw the spare in the back of my car. Anyway, that's the update, and I'm now going to get caught up with the last 3 days of work that I've missed.